Well, it's now 3 clean sheets on the spin. What's going on at Bristol City? Fantastic set of results. Let's discuss them all with our resident Robin, Sam. Good evening, Sam. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks, Mark. And yourself?
I'm very well, thank you. And we are previewing the visit of Huddersfield Town this weekend. They are in a lot of trouble, so the game is far more important for them than it is for you. But let's have a chat about the last game at Sunderland. How did you see that one?
I thought we played well for the first 2 minutes. We had a couple of good chances, and then it was just one-way traffic, really. And hats off to Max O'Leary again. I mean, I don't know if you've seen any of the saves. There's one from Dan Ballard where it was reminiscent of David Seaman in the semi-final of the FA Cup. And it's several saves in that first half. He kept us in the game.
We've spoken probably too much on this channel, haven't we? about Max O'Leary. Did you worry that he's now definitely putting himself in this window in the summer? And this is even actually got 4 more games of his services left.
Yeah, to be fair, I mean, if you ask a lot of Bristol City fans, I think a lot of them would be more than happy to let him go because he was fairly inconsistent at the start of the season. But me, I've always been a believer in backing the players, and he's come really good at the right time.
Yeah. Only 1 defeat then in the last 5 games. Not conceded a goal for 280 minutes now. What do you not conceded a goal at home since March the 2nd when Cardiff scored? So what do you put that down to?
I think they've been working hard off the pitch, and I think having a consistent back 4 every week, I think certainly helps. When you're chopping and changing, sometimes there's a lot of errors made, but when you've got a consistent back 4, it certainly helps.
Yeah. When you look at a number of players used across the season, only Watford have used fewer players than Bristol City, 25 in total. So size of squads is obviously due to budgets, but how much do you put what's happened this season down to the fact that you haven't had to swap too many players in, and you have had a really kind of settled side for most games?
Yeah, it certainly helps having the same consistent lineup every week, doesn't it? We have had a few injuries at the wrong time. Conway got injured early in the season, and his goals was a big loss. Like midfield, we've been losing players, but defensively, I think we've been really consistent all season.
Okay.
I think we're only 4th on the list of goals conceded in the Championship.
Yeah. And finally, is this football better than what you were watching at the start of the season?
It's debatable. It's debatable. We seem to play a lot of passes along our back line. Under Pearson, we were set up as a defensive side and hitting teams on the counter-attack. I think Manning's tried to change that a bit, but there's too many this tippy-tappy football at the back.
Okay. All right, let's bring in this week's opponent then, shall we? Mark is our resident Terrier, who's going to be visiting Ashton Gate this weekend. Good evening, Mark. Welcome to the Bristol City View.
Hi, good evening. You all right?
Yeah. Tell the Bristol City fans that are watching this what sort of style they can expect to be watching in their seats from the Town this weekend.
Well, it's interesting that you made the comment about Bristol's kind of continuity and that the players seem to be starting regularly. I mean, Town have had about 30 players or something ridiculous this season. They can't seem to string 4 or 5 games together without somebody being out for a couple of games, and it's constantly like swapping and changing his back 4 and back 3 and middle 3 and whatever else. So, but Town have got a habit of scoring this season. I think there's only 2 games this calendar year what we've not scored in. And we've scored against big teams this season. So if Bristol, and it sounds like the keeper had a right game against Sunderland the other day, but we creating the opportunities, we're creating the chances, and we've got a knack of scoring goals. Yeah, fair enough. Not the greatest goals in the world. I mean, the one at weekend, it came off a good keeper save and we managed to score. But yeah, in regards to player attributes and stuff like that, we're kind of just on shoestrings as players and things like that. So I can imagine Bristol having a bit more of a ball. So if they're playing tippy-tappy at the back and we're happy to let them have it, it's going to sound like a right game, isn't it? It's like best game ever.
Yeah, and you're looking forward to Naki Wells coming back and probably haunting Huddersfield, I'd imagine.
Oh, I've seen Naki Wells hit the post twice in a football match against Fulham from 2 penalties, so it don't scare me, don't Naki Wells. It's like when you say there's a ghost, when you realise it's Slimer, you're like, oh, it's a big friendly ghost, it's all right. But yeah, obviously we know what Naki Wells does. And unfortunately, we saw it against Coventry last week. If you let him have that chance, he will score it like Elliot Sims did. If you let him have too much time just on edge of a box, he's going to take a shot. And he don't miss often, So you've got to realise that threat's important. And at Bristol at home, they tend to have a really good record, and that's not just this season. They tend to just have a good home record. It's for travelling, I think, what generally kills Bristol City. So I think I'm kind of erring on the edge of caution of we'll probably concede, but I think we'll score as well. So I'm going for a draw this weekend.
All right, thanks, Mark. Sam, we'll get your predictions. This was 1-1 earlier in the season. That was when obviously Town had a different manager in Darren Moore. How do you see this one going?
I think it's going to be a very tight game. I can see City going behind early on, but coming back to win 2-1 with a Naki Wells winner.
I wonder what odds are on that.
Yeah, it might be worth having a look at, to be fair.
You've more chance of somebody getting a bust nose in background in stand than Naki Wells scoring at weekend. But no, I think that is where we need to be careful, because if you're going to give a player with that quality that much time in the box, which we seem to be doing week in and week out at the moment, it'll come back and bite us. So we need to be careful in that sense. And same with Patterson, because he does the same thing. He's a good player and he will take a shot at edge at box. And yeah, we need to be careful of that fact.
All right, thank you both. Enjoy the game, both of you. And we'll catch you both next week as we head to the final run-in of the season. It's exciting times in this division, isn't it?
Scary.
There's only Bristol City and Sunderland that aren't really doing much.
The season's done for us already. So.
Oh, that's it. You lot might be on beach then.
Yeah.
Western-super-Mare by the time we get down there on Saturday, so we'll be all right.
All right, thank you both. Enjoy the game.
Cheers.
All right, take care.